Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Trinadapi Sunichena Taradiva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. Hare Nama Hare Nama Hare Nama Vikevalam Kalo Nastyeva 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 Gatiranyata. So before we get into the chapter, I want to explain its title. So please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So here we are in chapter 9. Chapter 9 has 34 verses, and it is called the most confidential knowledge. So that means there's two other levels. There's confidential knowledge, more confidential knowledge, and this chapter, most confidential. So, confidential knowledge we learned in chapter 2. What did we learn in chapter 2? I am not this body. And what am I? I'm spirit soul. That is called confidential knowledge. You won't hear that on CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. You're not going to hear that. You will hear that in Bhagavad Gita. Transcendental knowledge is in Bhagavad Gita. We learned in chapter 2, Krishna telling Arjuna, rise above the Vedas. Why? Because the Vedas are material. But rather you should transcend the Vedas. So what does that mean? Upanishads. Beyond the four Vedas, Rig, Sama, Yajur, Atharva, you have the 108 Upanishads. That's transcendental knowledge. Now you may say, well, then how come we're studying Bhagavad Gita? Because Shankaracharya has his prayer. All the Upanishads are like a cow. Somebody is milking Krishna because that's his occupation. Now, when you milk a cow, out comes milk. So what is the milk of the 108 Upanishads? Bhagavad Gita. And the cow will give milk in the presence of its calf. Who's the calf? Arjuna. And then Shankaracharya says, who should drink this milk? The devotees. As it's the way Prabhupada translates it. Devotees of theistic intellect. Theistic intellect means you are a believer in God. That's what it means to be a theist. And atheist does not believe in God or the soul. But someone who is theist believes in God. And they are the ones who are to drink this Bhagavad Gita, which is the milk, the summary, the gist of all 108 Upanishads. So the first lesson again, what was it, Meena? The first lesson of transcendental knowledge? That's the first lesson. That's called confidential knowledge. More confidential knowledge has to do with another kind of soul. Who? Super soul. Paramatma. Very good. So that is more confidential knowledge. In other words, there are many people who may believe in God, but then how many know about this super soul? In chapter 13, when we get there, One of the first things Krishna will say in chapter 13, there are two knowers of the field of the body, soul, supersoul. Krishna said, but there's a distinction between the two. The soul knows this body, but Krishna said, but I know everybody's body. Right? You don't want to know everybody's body. You have enough trouble with your own body, right? Maybe you've had the experience in your profession, somebody with multiple personalities. That's something very intense to deal with. Am I right? Yes. And according to the Vedas, that would mean that such a person is ghostly haunted. That's how the Vedas would analyze it. So Krishna says, I know what's going on in everybody's body. We know what's going on in my body. So that's more confidential knowledge. Now, most confidential knowledge has to do with Krishna himself, Bhagavan, the possessor of how many opulences? 6. Let's name them. Strength, wealth, fame, renunciation, beauty, knowledge. They go in pairs. Beauty and wealth go together. There's 3 couples. Strength and fame go together. Knowledge and renunciation go together. So those are the 3 couples, because Krishna is known as Trayidasha, or sometimes he's known as Triyuga. So Triyuga also means these 3 couples. These 3, besides the other meaning of Triyuga, is that in Kali Yuga, Krishna does not come as a Vishnu avatar, but comes in a disguised avatar known as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have a question? Okay, I don't have more detailed information other than that's how they are categorized. Wealth and beauty go together. Knowledge and detachment, or knowledge and renunciation, and fame and strength. Now, why that is, I have not read that yet. I'm just informed. So that's as far as my knowledge. Please forgive me. But that was a very good question. So most confidential knowledge deals with the personality of Godhead. Now, once you've understood Bhagavad Gita, what is recommended to read next? Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam deals with the relationship between the personality of Godhead and the devotees. Because Krishna alone is not as beautiful as when Krishna is with his devotees. Especially which devotee? Where is Meenakshi Vrajarani? Oh. Which devotee is Krishna the most beautiful? Which gopi? Radharani. In other words, Krishna is all beautiful, but in the presence of his devotees, he becomes more beautiful. And then if you had to find the topmost devotee, that would be Srimati Radharani, because that name Radha means she worshiped Krishna better than the others. The name she was supposedly gotten the night of the Rasa dance, when Krishna left the other gopis and went deep into the forest with Radhika. And the gopis said, that one must have worshipped Krishna better than us. And that's the only place where the name Radha appears in Bhagavatam? Because that's a question people ask. Well, we don't see Radha's name in Bhagavatam. Yeah, there's a reason. Shukadev, if he had gotten into Radharani, would have went into complete ecstasy, and there would have been no Bhagavatam. He wouldn't have went mad. So he purposely checked himself. As we see in the Chaitanya, you've read the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita? So those 5 ending chapters is all about Lord Chaitanya becoming mad. You remember those? Yeah, 5. Yes, so many different things. He was going crazy in separation from Krishna. So that is my introduction. Everybody chant the Maha Mantra.